Hey, welcome everybody to Friday Night at the Crib. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. And no, Laredo's not coming on the show. I was just not. Never
Tell
mind.
him to.
Yes, but if in case anybody would like to join us, I will post the link on the right-hand side. A lot of people are out today because of uh, day after Thanksgiving. I'm sure they're all at Walmart enjoying their Black Friday specials or
Mhm.
whatever they may be up to, visiting family. But I guess I'll introduce who we have so far. From left to right, Father George,
Evening, everybody.
Senior Daniel,
Hi, everyone.
and this is Hefe.
Where's Earth? I thought he said he was coming this weekend.
He said he's still at work. He might be on later.
Damn, real life and all that stuff. Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm wondering what he's working at now because it's midnight there. I don't know what he's doing at this point. So maybe quote unquote work. Who knows? um, So it's been a pretty slow week in Battle Pirates. We've got a lot of repeat TLC to do. Our second go round with the new FM style, and and not really anything been added to the game this week. Um, I did find out that some of my missing there we go, we did find out some of my missing clicks were associated with the fact that years of Battle Pirates has actually worn down pieces of my mouse after I took it apart, so I'll be getting a new one on Monday. How's
Really
everybody else's week been? Yeah,
good.
there's like little chips from years of banging on the left-hand mouse button.
Yeah, my mouse is brand new, and I'm still having lost clicks on that thing. So good luck.
Yeah, I think it'll work a little bit better because I've gone to this because I play from a laptop. I've gone to a new technique which works better, but it's much more awkward to do where I'm using my mouse to control my cursor and then using my laptop left button to actually make it work. So it's a new thing, but I'll make that work for a little while. But yeah, years of Battle Pirates abuse of my mouse of cramming on it has finally made this mouse not quite as effective as it used to be.
Mhm.
So I don't know really what to talk about this week. Sort of what I was bringing up. It's, I mean, besides the gluttony TLC, is there any real? I mean, I assume there will be a reason, but I don't really have a urge to go out and get to the other or prizes, the rival prizes in there. We should expect from uh, GDR's post that we would see. We'll see the defender one in the raid. We assume to help the courage and the justice. But I mean, just by asking the question, it was more of an order thing than whether we'll see it or not. But a flagship for the Rivals series.
Yeah, I don't know.
That would be the only reason I could see to pick them up. That there's going to be Voltron 2. Um, and Sinsense asks, can you collect chests of smaller tiers and not open them?
No, you're limited to one on each.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can only have own one in your inventory, but you can wait. You can keep it for, well, I guess you could keep it a maximum of 2 weeks. Just make sure you don't claim it while you still own it.
Yeah, I mean, you can load up on tokens, right? Like open up all the chests, load up on your tokens, and then the next week load up on chests, and you can just sit on the chests. I mean, you can do it that way if you want to try and hoard some tokens, but you can't have more than one chest.
Yeah, but they do have the ability to not open them for a while until you need to. I mean,
Right. Yeah, you can sit on the chests.
and sitting on your claim too. You have that week of doing the FM. I really wish there was a grace period of between the, like, when the FM ends and when you can claim your prizes.
Yeah,
You know,
especially especially since they went to this raid type claiming thing. Yeah, that would be
you
nice.
know,
24
yeah,
hours or
because
something.
yeah, or until the next one starts, and then you can still claim, use any existing points, because sometimes you walk away from the game, and I still have 700,000 points, and I don't really need the icebreaker tokens or whatnot. But I mean, if I'd thought about it, I would have claimed them, but I was couldn't be asked at the time. Well, Altec is asking they should increase the amount of tokens you can hold. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, not going to happen
Based
at
on
all.
the structure. But what they really wish they would do is put the FM tokens first, and then have your daily campaign tokens last. That way, people that have a lot of the daily campaigns chests don't have to scroll through them every time they want to claim them.
Right.
And also, they would know that they own them. So, because I found that, because I know some people have 40 of them. So it's monotonous to click through all 40 every time you want to claim those other chests. And also, it's difficult to know that you even had them, because I didn't realize today that I had some previously existing chests that were sitting back there. So yeah, it'd be nice if the special chests are number 1, 2, 3 as opposed to number 41, 42, 43. So
It would be helpful.
yeah, it would just be convenient. It doesn't seem like it would be that difficult, because that's the way we were getting the tech up prizes. Weren't the tech up chests originally first?
You know what? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that and the skirmish ones too. I think those popped up first.
Yeah, that'd be nice if they made it work that way. That way, people, because at this point, it's going to become like the hull specific tokens, where you have a hard time getting to or realizing that you own certain types of tokens. So, yeah, Laredo brought up the FM. I mean, I'm not sure if anybody that watches the show is still has the technology and is still having issues with the FM, except for somebody on was it the last after show that had the technologies but was still building Punishers for some unknown reason. Even though that they had Zealouses and
yeah, I don't know.
Monoliths and.
I mean, there's a really good article by some noob that actually walks through both options: one monolith, one zealous and two zealous. But I don't think Laredo likes that blog. So
yeah, yes. Well, I wasn't referring to you building Punishers, but yeah, there's somebody still building Punishers for some unknown reason. So, George, you got anything else?
I mean, I haven't had a chance to test the Zealous in any other target other than the 115, but the more I watch it work in the 115, the more I'm convinced that there's two things going on there that are not correct. So I'm getting a little worried.
Okay.
Because the mechanic of the duality is not acting the same in the 115 as it does in other targets at all.
Other FM targets, or
I haven't tried other FM targets. I was talking about other just generic other targets, and the stacking effect. Something just still seems to me. It's just something still seems off. I'm just concerned that after everybody's already refit and done this stuff and build an extra zealous, and they did the the special the time limited offer for zealous tokens. Like if they go, oh, hey, we messed up, and they change something, man, there's gonna be a lot of fucking pissed off people. So the more time that goes on, the more concerned I'm getting. Like I wish someone would come out and acknowledge something so we know it's not changing. Because I'll tell you what, the duality doesn't fire at anything that's tagged in any other fucking target than the fit with the 115. I mean, I'll try it. I should try it in another damn target in the FM, but I'm lazy and I don't got time. That's why I'm not even doing the TLCs.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, yeah, there's been other inconsistencies that we saw earlier. It's like the last week when we had some of the Garrison, the older Garrison Conqueror, TLCs. That the sprints and tridents weren't working against the cold snaps there, but then they would work elsewhere,
Yeah,
which
but
I
see
think would be.
those are the
But
older colds.
but what I'm saying is, yeah, I understand they're the older ones, but it's just inconsistencies like that. That's like, okay, you've changed your
Yeah.
build for the FM, and now that build may not work as well in these TLCs. I'm just saying that they should try to make it consistent. I mean, we've already talked about the inconsistency inside of the 115, where one cold snap has a longer range and can be shot down with the countermeasures, and then the shorter range one that seems to evade most of them, even though on the surface they both appear to be the same. Graphically, I don't see any difference between the two of them. So I just wish things were graphically consistent. I mean, I guess Renato was on last week, and he said that he understood that one as far as the 115, because maybe one has a different special and whatnot. But I could see how it become, frustrating for players. I mean, there's easy ways around it, like always try to kite those and just hit them on the edge. And if you see them firing, you can relax a little bit because you're going to shoot down the cold snap pellets. But if it's not firing, be more scared, because if you get in the range of that thing, it'll chew you up pretty good. So, and I'm going to post the link in case anybody'd like to join us again.
I like
see how everybody's think. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying I like slow weeks, man. Like I know that there's a bunch of TLCs and all that out there, but when I look at them, I'm like, I like the Inquisitor one. Yeah, I might want to do that one. The Gluttony one, I might want to do that one. But I'm kind of like I like it when it's slow like this because you know what? I've actually been able to get on, and instead of going, holy crap, what do I got to do first? Or oh crap, I got to collect this or that. I've been able to hit a base or two. I'm like, hey, this is fun again. I still suck at it, but it's fun. So I can live with slow weeks rather than them cramming new shit down my throat every week.
Yeah, and I thought the timing was good considering it was Thanksgiving and whatnot, that they would do something like this. But because I think we've had raids over Easter and things like that, so they seem to think about this one, and they didn't do the bounty this week, which I think is is good. And they had the so I think it has appropriate timing.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I'm glad that they didn't push out new stuff. And the bounty, man, I'll tell you, I'm still, ugh. Especially with the new Mega Hulk crap. What the hell? Why is that in there?
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked about it on Wednesday. I'm not sure if anybody's gotten the gotten the right analogy, but because the players didn't really seem to like bounty, and they also didn't seem to like megaships. So we're going to add the megaships to the bounty so they like it better. Does anybody come up besides your sweat and sticky sheets analogy? Have we come up with a better one? Anybody?
Because I mean, they're hoping for a Reese's peanut butter cup, but they're going to end up getting like something nasty instead.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they chose to go in that direction. And hopefully they're going to add points for base defense, which is what most players seem to be interested in.
I'm so
and changing the bubble times and making it more actually like PvP as opposed to whatever we have right now.
Yeah, the only catch I have with the base defense thing is that there's just way too many freaking hacks out there. Way too many hacks out there for base stuff. I mean, they gotta lock that down before they do that.
Yeah, I mean, what they did previously was they made the base parts able to do anything, and I'm surprised that hasn't come out yet. And because we've already seen that, level 7, 8, and 9 defense platforms all look the same. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Yeah. Well, when they have a transformer on them.
I mean, even naked, don't they all look the same?
No, I think 9 looks different.
I don't know. I double check because I haven't looked at them really close, but I don't notice that my 9 looks that much different. But yeah, it already had a transformer on it, so I don't have a blank 9 in my base. But it hides the fact that people are, you may think it's a level 7, but it's a level 9, which isn't good for strategic play. The only real purpose I could see it is hiding the fact that a base may have 20 some level 9s a week after they came out.
Yep. I don't know. I don't like the idea if there are people hacking that they're going to have that big of an advantage on something like this.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they don't really have to worry about their base getting hit as much either, with the current system either. If they have all, I don't know, if they have the ability to build whatever they want in their base without, because right now normal players are on a timeline to basically get everything with what we already have, a timeline to get everything upgraded and equipped. That's about a year. So I have a feeling that we're going to see something at some point, not too far in the distant future, with base parts allowing to do more than what they're able to do right now.
I mean, and the thing is even with the base parts, with the newer stuff, you can't even really react quickly, because even with a full load of base parts, it's still 13 days, 12 days to put a fucking turret on. I mean, come on, man. And that's if you think ahead and strip the turret down with base parts first, put the specials on with base parts, and get everything ready, and then put the turret on. You're still at 12 damn days.
No, it's like 8 days, 10 to 8 days. That's if you strip down everything, get more base parts and everything. It's yeah.
I'll have to check my base. I don't know. Maybe it is like 9 or 10. That's right. Either way, it's still more than a week. I mean, that's not how you react to something in the game. That's retarded. Because if you got to do like 4 of them, like if you're trying to get the epic cats out, to get 3 or 4 of them in your base is going to be 30 to 40 days. At best. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bigger issue that I think we can tackle as far as legit players in their base and illegitimate players as far as what's going inside the base, and I'm not sure what we can accomplish with
about the two bear towers. A tier 9 tower, I think it's a little bit more orange, and it has, like, if you see it on the side, on the right side of it, the number 8 has like one little transformer looking thing there, but the 9 has like 2 of them with 3 wires. And
are you looking at, or can you screen share this, or are you looking at something else?
No, I'm just looking at it right now. Like
no, but can you screen share it?
Okay.
He's got to close the midget porn in the other window.
Yeah, of course.
No, I was just, so you can show so people know.
Daniel's like, yeah, of course, man.
so we can
You
see the
said,
difference between.
see, it's a little bit more orange.
No. I mean, in the base, like.
Oh no, oh, no, on the base I can't because I don't have any. I have this one that's bare right here. That's a level 8, and what I see is different is that it's oranger.
Yeah, one's orange, one's yellow.
One's yellow, and you see the little box right here.
It's got 2 versus
2
3.
has 2 versus 1, and then the wires. It has. I think it has 2 wires versus 1 wire or a little thing right here.
Yeah. One's yellow, one's orange though. They are different until you put a transformer on them.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're different in the base because this picture doesn't necessarily always reflect exactly, the blueprint. These doesn't. They don't always.
I wish I had.
Always,
I wish I had 1.9 that was bare, but I can't.
Okay.
But I did see it when it was in the base. It was a little bit more oranger than the rest.
Okay.
Orange. So it's a slight difference. It's not totally different, but once you put the transformer on, they're all the same.
Yeah. Yeah. So that pretty much covers up. Has the ability to cover everything up. So. Because I can't think of a reason not to at least put put no transformers on something.
Yeah.
I mean, even like a countermeasure one, put the defensive one on.
No, I put the range one. Get more range on the countermeasure.
Yeah, I guess it depends on your situation where you have it placed in your base. So. Anybody have any?
Give a little bit more time to fire too if you have a little bit more range.
Does anybody else out in chat have any other questions or like to join us?
Hot button topics, stuff you'd like to see in the game. I mean, one of the things I actually brought up and asked was I want to see chore fleets. Like bi-weekly, I want to see a chore fleet come out, like the TLC come out bi-weekly. I don't care if they change up the prizes where like 1 week you're getting tokens and 1 week you're getting, the flagship or whatever the hell it is. But man, with so many chores in this game, some of these fleets, like I don't know, when was the last time the Ironclad thing came out?
The Ironclad TLC? Don't.
Yeah.
I mean, those TLCs only come out when the specific, like the siege ones come out whenever the siege.
And that's what I'm saying. All this crap is on the map now as chores, and yet we have players that don't have access to the tech or even the damn hulls to get this crap. Like the Tide Seeker, right? It's fucking useless without the Harlocks. Why don't throw out a TLC every once in a while? Every 2 weeks, throw out a TLC for a chore fleet, right? We got how many chores out on the map? 4 plus the FM's 5, right?
Yeah.
I guess they assume they're going to do those with the Hell Race, because the Hell Race you can get through the Foundry, correct?
Yeah.
It's still, I mean, I don't know. I want the stuff to be accessible to everybody. I'm tired of this friggin' trickle fucking tech crap to everybody because it's really frustrating. The players that don't have it, to the players that have it, we're like, okay, cool. We're gonna get some tokens and we'll be able to tweak our builds and this and that. That's fine, and we don't really care how often the TLCs come out. But players that don't have the tech, it's frustrating as shit for them to not be able to actually get it, and then sometimes it doesn't even show up in the damn hull raids.
Yep.
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna wait 6 months just to get access to an old ass, tech that is going to be worthless in another 3. I mean,
yeah. And the suggestion I've made for a long time with this is once it's on the map and once the technology is by most of the players has been built out, why not making them permanent campaigns, not time limited? I
dislike that idea. The only reason I dislike that idea is because then you only can go through it once and you can't get the tokens, right? Where we have so much escalation stuff that comes out, you're going to need the tokens to refit, and they're not even going to cover a full refit.
Yeah, but still, I think your main thing that you wanted is you wanted players to be able to get access to the technology.
Access while at the same time having them engage and and be able to play the basic stuff of the game, which is the chores. And
Yeah.
you know, if they run a TLC every other week, bi-weekly, right?
Hmm.
And they don't got to run them all. Just pick one. This week we're going to do Tide Seekers. 2 weeks we're going to do Ironclads. Who gives a crap what the hell which one it is? Just get the shit out there so people have access to it. I mean, because I've had so many of the like players that were in like the 60s, 70s that started sending me stuff going, man, how do you get this crap? Because they're looking at some of the stuff that we do either on the shows or on YouTube, and I'm like, you know what? That's a really good point. Where in the hell is this shit?
Yeah, because I'm getting tired of doing things with the Phoenixes, and there's really no. And I never really did much with the. I never got
The
the.
skies. Yep.
Yeah, I have them. I mean, I still have some tokens associated with building them, but I don't have any way to get the. I mean, I guess the gut spill will come out at some point, maybe in this tech raid, but it's because the Phoenixes are laborious to do some of these TLCs with.
I mean,
As you know,
honestly, with titanium, I can't stand running those damn 85s anymore. So I'll go out and I'll just auto crap with my half built Skyfis until they're dead, and I'll repair them overnight. I mean, I'm so damn tired of doing chores, but the thing is that's an option that I have because I have the gut spill and I have the Skyfis. I didn't have enough tokens to build them,
yeah.
but I got them kind of built enough where I can do that and get some titanium at least for a little bit. But that's
Talking about those tokens. When are we gonna get the Hunter TLC? I thought we were supposed to get it already.
that's a good point. I don't know.
If we're getting it, yeah. Because I'm going to get my hunter. I should be pretty easily be able to get my hunters built and my fangs built with just the tokens, that I already had. But I never fit the new escalation weapon or an armor special on my original hunters. I just built them blank and put a bunch of specials on them besides the armor special. And so I'm going to make it, and I think I'll have time. I'm not sure exactly when the raid's going to be, but I could get them done in the next, week or so. But I'm not forced to take weapons off either, which is, a bunch
Raid's
of
the
stuff.
14th, mate.
Okay, 14th. So yeah, I got plenty of time.
Mark, what's up, man?
Hello, mate.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, bud.
Hi, Rom.
Hey
How you
guys.
doing, TSM? Hey, Rob.
Hell, Rum showed up too.
Yep.
Yeah, they showed up together.
Now it's a
Where were
party.
you two boys earlier?
I'm
No,
far
mate.
away from England, so
Okay,
Yeah, we went
I
shopping.
wasn't
Clearly.
implying. Yes, we're off shopping together.
I spent a
That's it.
fortune.
Did you? Did you get anything
Yeah.
nice?
Yeah, new phone.
you didn't
Okay.
go out for the iPhone, did you?
No, you got me joking. Not buying that crap.
Okay.
I don't buy Apple. Sorry.
Good for you.
I don't stitch up to
TSM's
that.
not
I'm old-fashioned, mate. So I went for Android. It's easy.
Good.
And
I thought
it's easier.
I thought it was old people that bought the iPhones, but I could be wrong.
No, I think it's more the females that like the iPhone.
Hipsters. Well, females hipsters, yeah, same thing.
Well, and the old people. The old people like the iPhones as well, but So I guess it's a multi-generational market they have. But I still can't. Are you allowed to change the batteries in those things yet?
Nope.
Yeah. This is planned obsolescence at its best. So how's your week gone, TSM?
Pretty lazy, to be honest. I don't really want to do any of those TLCs because it's just dull. So
My man, there it is.
I did the one for the glut just because I wanted to mess around with a single glut, just because I looked at some of it. Now I've got the flagship for them. I was like, oh, look at the bonus that flagship produces. So I did some messing around, and I just built one extra and just have a bit of fun. So.
For your base, or to just go out and hit bases?
Mate, I don't hit base anymore. You know that. I've stopped that. I haven't hit base in 2 months. I don't think so.
Yeah, ever since the rages died.
Yeah, I did that. Fleeting 5 minutes, got myself up to 640 medal
Holy
thingies,
cow, Mark!
and then I stopped. That was it. So I
Are you
haven't hit
planning?
really.
Are you planning on chasing somebody around with all those?
No, not really.
Okay.
I just like the technical bit of it. You know me. I just like looking at the mechanics of things, and once I've done that, then yeah, I've actually built a bus because I've got like that Huggy's Yard thing. I've actually bothered actually building a bus just because it's there, and I had nothing else to build. So
Uh-huh.
I've only got a single mort on it and an engine and Garrison X on it, nothing else on it. But at least it'd be handy for range, won't it? I suppose. I don't know. Until obviously the new special comes out with a 40% missile range boost on it, and then obviously it'll be outranged itself then. So
Well, it's got range, and it also has the defenses, which are quite.
yeah, true. Yeah, and I've got a couple of kings done as well. I mean, they've been done for some time, but I've just not really used them. I've done the typical thing, let them sit in my base and let people use them as target practice, just to see how long they'll last for fun of it.
On your kings, did you take the weapon and the special, or just the kings?
Yeah, I did, but I haven't used it.
Okay.
I built mine differently. Because they're crazy things, aren't they? So you can go and just be annoying with them. So I went sub hunting and that sort of stuff, just being silly,
Yeah.
Building for sub hunting and then put a couple of rages in, that sort of stuff, just to annoy people. But obviously there are some good subs out there now which can kill kings in a single shot. So
Nightcrawler, anyone?
if you know how to build
not
them,
Nightcrawler, Ghostcrawler.
that thing's pretty awesome at the moment if you put the right torps on it. So yeah, right. Robin was on about that the other night. But yeah, so pretty quiet week, to be honest. I haven't really done a great deal. Though I would say FM this week, FM was fun. I actually had a good laugh doing my FM this week because I mean, I was sort of saying it on our show in the middle of the week. I wasn't really sure where they go with the FM, so it does seem then that if they, especially if they keep it the same next week, that if you grizz out the FM like a mini raid for week 1, the week after the raid, then the rest of the month you've just got to go and get the tokens. Yeah, as in like each week sort of stuff. So I know you're not getting as many and all that sort of stuff, and as many build tokens. I think they've slowed us down on purpose for that, because they don't want to be racing through with the legitimate people racing through with building lots of turrets. But at least I was done. I loaded up one crew, the evade crew, to make my icebreakers turn a bit faster. And before that crew had run out, my raid was done. Oh, sorry, my mini raid. My FM was done. I hit every single token target I possibly could, and the fleet hadn't even died. So then I just fixed them overnight, and that was it. That was FM done. 40 minutes.
Still feels like another raid, though, don't it?
Well, 40 minutes is okay. It used to take me 40 minutes anyway. So it is. Yeah, it's a couple more targets. I do appreciate that, but it's. Yeah, I mean, week 1 did.
I'm just saying the feel between both the setup for the points and the way that they have it set up in general is just.
Yeah, but I still like the way you can select stuff. I do like that bit.
Yeah.
So there are some hidden niceties in it. I think it'll take. I mean, look, it isn't going to freaking change now anyway. So, but I do think just for. I wished it hadn't, that sort of stuff, and I wish they just reduced the numbers and just changed the old method. And if these targets actually the 115s were worth 500k, then I'd be absolutely happy. It wouldn't bother me in the slightest, because the way you can pick stuff and the way you can not have to do level 4 and jump to straight to 5 if you want to and grab that first. I mean, those sort of things are better. In this system, I don't know why you couldn't do that in the old system. I'm sure there's some reason for it. I wouldn't have a clue. I'm no flipping programmer, so
they probably just don't want to take the time. But I mean, being able to do that is great. I do also like the fact that if I have some extra time, and especially now with the 2 Zealous build, I mean, I can just rack up points, get all the crap that I can the first week, and then just chill the next week.
Yeah, so I suppose the thing to ask Kixeye is, the week after the raid is don't do anything dumb, and let people have time if they are going to cause this thing and make it a mini raid, because clearly there'll be another 2 or 3 things come next month in obviously the tier 5 and maybe 1 or 2 in tier 4. Let them freaking grind it out. Don't give me any other crap for the week either to do. So at least you haven't got tons of other things to do. So at least you can take your whole week then just going, well, I'll do a 2 or 3 tonight and 2 or 3 tomorrow. But I do know a couple of people that did it the old way, and they just went and got one prize and just got the one, bonus tokens and that sort of stuff, and then just did nothing else. And then this week they're getting another prize, and then they're going, because they don't really want those particular prizes, they're just getting another prize and then go and getting their bonus tokens again. So, that's the old way of doing it. So, they're not having to hit tons of targets. Although,
and you got the choice. You got the choice, and if you don't got time one week, that's fine.
Yeah, I think so. And 2 people this week I know personally have actually got the 2+7. So
Really?
Yeah,
it wasn't
one
me.
in my alliance, in fact. So yeah, one in my alliance. It's the first time he's ever got the top. He never used to get the big one, so this is the first time he's ever. So he's quite chuffed with himself. It's Art actually. He's yeah. So we've all slagged him off on our Facebook page as ever. But that's it. There's a bit of a quiet week this week, to be honest. I just built the glut thingy, messed around with those a little bit, got a bus. That's that done. Intrigued with what's going to happen with obviously the mega ships and Bounty 4. And if it's shite, I just won't do it. So I don't know. I'm not infused with the fact that I understand megas are PvP, but they are sitting ducks, and I already know that one of the big alliances is already got a couple of people going to join them for that particular event, as in join their alliance and then use their huge mega ship to go and assist them. So it's not going to be balanced in any way, shape, or form. So
I was actually very tempted to do that myself.
Well, it's like the golden nugget. He who rules the roost is going to keep the roost, and everybody else is fucked, basically. So, but anyway,
you mentioned the tokens for the FM, and that's still kind of one of those spots that I'm a little sore about, because if they had made it where it wasn't just the 2-in-1 really prevalent, like absurdly weighted to the 2+1, it probably wouldn't be bothering me as much. But their whole thing was they said they changed the payouts for that, so we wouldn't lose tokens. But in the end, we really are losing tokens because it's right back to the 3-day total.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, go back to the bounty thing. As long as we actually do now in the 4th incarnation of the godforsaken bounty, that we actually do get something for base defense, and it's something worthwhile. Bearing in mind that to have a good base defense, if you're going to get smashed, and still defend, you still got to fix a good base defense fleet, and then you also got to get your base up and running within the time zone, which is not very long. And particularly if you want to go out and help somebody and defend somebody else's mega, then you're going to be open. So it's it's a freaking coin fest without a doubt, and you need to be a little bit clever in what you do, and not feel pressured by your alliance mates to go, come and help you with my thing, my mega's dying, we're going to lose the golden freaking nugget, and then go, great mate, well, if I do that, then I've got 5 hours, I've got to go and call my base first. So all hail the big alliances with lots of money, so
if they want to increase if they want to keep the action up with the short bubbles, they need to use that same ratio in shrinking the bubbles to the repair time for your base and your base fleet, in order for it to really make sense as far as what the players are used to as far as the PvP dynamics.
I get they reduce the timeline, because obviously then it would just slow down the fact that bounty would just take forever because people would sit in a day and have bubble. But if the bubble pops in 3 hours, then the whole base should auto fix in 3 hours, and whatever's left over is just left over. Tough, it just gets fixed.
Yeah. I mean, that's the idea, and it should start instant repairing, because it's you can't stay up all there's
well, I think you can fix it first yourself if you want to, and coin it and charge the proper amount and that sort of stuff. So if you are a coiner, if you want to fix it quickly, you've got to pay your 40 coins or 50 coins or whatever, depending on how you built it and what you've got in there. But if not, in 3 hours, it should be auto fixed. That's it, because that's when the bubble pops. And you're probably not on, because there's like 9 hours of the night that you're not available because you're kipping and that sort of stuff. And then finally, if you go to work for at least 7 or 8 hours the next day, so at least you've got a base. And if you've got some decent, turrets in there, at least you'll scrape somebody, with some damage, even though your base fleet isn't fixed. But the base fleet should also auto start fixing at least, shouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah,
It's just the little things like that. I mean, like I said, I'm no freaking game designer. I ain't got a clue, but I know what I'd like to see. And I think many other people just like that sort of thing themselves. And I don't know.
yeah, I think that would increase participation and yeah. I mean, because people would still coin back their, probably still core back their conquerors, but they don't want to get involved because what's going on in their base. Because
Yeah.
that's the expensive part of it. It's not really your
It
conqueror
is.
ships.
Yeah, it is defending your base, which I was doing a lot of, which is why I sacked it. When I said about the amount of coin I spent in Bounty 1 and started Bounty 2 and then sacked it altogether. It was a ridiculous amount because I had to fix my base guard and then I had to do a couple of turrets and that sort of stuff, even to stand a chance to go out and do anything. It was just nuts. It wasn't all on doing Bounty, but it was all on getting ready for Bounty and at least making myself, so I could actually partake. Because the first 5 seconds of the first base here, I was like, oh, great. So now I can't actually go and do anything myself because I've got a flat base. I've got a flat base guard, and that was just a stupid amount of coin to sort that out, including putting a trap in and that sort of stuff. So, yeah. But anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah, and they've heard the players' complaints regarding that, and especially the bubble times and whatnot. And I didn't see any movement towards doing anything like that to basically normalize it to the normal everyday PvP or PvP base hitting experience.
Mm.
I mean,
No,
unless I'm unaware of it, I don't think they've made any changes in that direction.
No, I just hope they're not now going to go away from base hitting, which is the core of PvP, and all of a sudden it's going to be evolved around trying to reinvigorate the dead mega ships, because no one's really, apart from elite 3% maybe, is actually doing anything apart from building conqueror tokens. Unless I'm wrong, but I don't know. They're just glorified.
Oh, you weren't on the you weren't on the Wednesday show or the chat. I mean, I've thrown the challenge that George is the only one that's provided an answer, which I'm not sure everybody's happy with at this point in time.
Hey, I gotta bounce,
But
guys.
now,
Say goodnight to everybody.
Okay, mate.
So have a
Night,
good
George.
show. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully.
Cheers, George, mate.
All right, night.
but now the mega hole parts to actually level them up and everything, it doesn't require that much parts. I mean, the first 2 levels are free, basically.
Yeah, now, but that's enticed people because everyone's got the 145 sitting outside their base because all they've ever done is just gone, oh yeah, thanks, there, I've got it now. I didn't really want to build it, but I've got it. So, oh yeah, I can build some conqueror tokens, so I'll just use it for that. So now they're encouraging people to go, well, I'm going to get up to level 2. As long as I've got a bit of titanium, which is not the funnest thing to go and collect, but you've already covered that. Yeah. It is what it is. At least there'll be a load of level 160s out there, and that sort of, I think so.
Yeah, but more like, I don't know if you heard it earlier in the show where they took bounty, where it seems like a large part of the player base didn't like, and then they had mega ships, which a large part of the player base didn't like, and then they combined them in order to make them like it more. Can you think of a real life analogy where you take 2 things that you dislike separately and then you combine them together into something
like
that and now you like them together, but you didn't like them apart?
Right, so you threw that last bit in there. I was
Liver
thinking
and onions.
I was thinking the analogy of putting 2 things together that you dislike and then just have to suffer it. It's like,
No, but now you like it because they added those 2
oh
things.
man, flipping heck. No. That scenario just doesn't exist in real life, does it?
No, it doesn't. Ex-wife and mother-in-law.
As they always say, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Okay.
Yes.
Hey, I'm on a roll here, guys. Come on.
Yeah, well, David threw out sodium and chlorine, but not people run along the elemental forms of those 2 in their daily life. But yeah, I do understand where you're going with that one. Because they're very toxic or very explosive by themselves, but together they're something that people do appreciate. So
Yeah, it
Yep.
is what it is. But, anyway, so I'm intrigued. I mean, we've obviously got the it's eluded me the name of the campaign, but level 3 of the Tech Up, is it? I think it's called Tech Up, isn't it? Yeah, that's coming out, isn't it? So,
Are you talking about right now or coming soon?
well, it'll be coming very soon because the blueprints are in the game now, aren't they?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah.
so it's not coming right now. I mean, it may come up this weekend. I don't know because it's not exactly the most exciting weekend, is it? So it could kick in tomorrow. You know, they had that funny delayed start on some things. It just seems weird that we've got blueprints that are in our, that are readied out in our, our infantry there, and there's no more additions going to be coming in the FM. So unless those are prizes to do with the bounty, when are we going to get them? Seems a bit funny.
Well, I'm assuming,
Uh-huh.
I don't know that they would kick in before the next update, because I think that's more of a mistake, because the autoloader, there's one that's it's the autoloader that is no improvement over the research version, right?
That's a bit random, isn't it? Yeah, I have to say.
Yeah. Unless it's like a build time, or I don't even, but nobody's, I mean, a lot of these are in preparation for the upcoming siege raid cycle. I mean, that being one of them. So the only thing I can think of when I haven't
Strike
researched
systems?
it is what?
Strike systems.
Well, no, there's two. There's a couple.
All a load of fours in there, isn't it? That's weapon. All it gives you is ballistic reload, according to that, 110%.
Yeah.
But
Which
for a
is the
weapon
same.
weight of 60.
Yeah, and the other one was 55, right?
Yeah.
And then,
so why have you gained weapon weight when actually you've got the same amount of reload?
yeah, that's why I'm thinking that these were unresolved things that came out a little bit early, because we got some brand new hidden blueprint stats. I don't.
In fact, wasn't there 4 things? Because I've only got 3 now.
Hydrodynamic shells.
Yeah, so we've got Hydro Shells 4, which is I quite like that, 12% bonus. That's all right. Explosive subset. That's a nice thing to go and put on to annoy people with gluts and that sort of stuff. You can stick one of those on one of your sloths or something if someone's got some annoying subs in their base. But yeah, you sail past with a freaking King's Writ and then blow it out of the water, sort of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, you're not going to be able to touch it. But the Strike System 4, I mean, that's been there for quite some time now. This is like week 2, isn't it, or something like that? It's been in there.
Yeah. I don't know if they're looking for player reaction, or they don't normally release stuff this early. So
Well, especially when they're just random, like you say, they are just random. I mean, that's not a siege item, the Strike System, is it?
No, it's. I wouldn't be.
Do you know what? The fact that it's autoloader and the fact that it's Strike System, wouldn't it be nice to put that in the Forsaken Tech and just have it researchable, so that actually average everyday players could just get it as well? But those days are gone, I think, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, you got the halls through the Foundry, which is the Foundry's really no different than really your naval lab, right?
No, but the point is, it's
blown
a Forsaken Tech, isn't it? So it could have quite easily just gone into one of the Forsaken sort of like, you could have put it into the advanced lab, or you can put it into the weapons lab. You could put it into wherever you wanted to put it, but those things are there, the weapons lab, and well, it'd be advanced lab, wouldn't it? To be honest, but it could be built in, couldn't it?
Yeah, but I'm saying they've taken some of the research labs, and they've turned them into the naval lab. They've basically turned that into the Foundry. And the bonus for the player base is the fact that they can't be blown up, and your research can't be interrupted. But yeah, I would like to see some of these, your advanced lab.
Yeah, I mean, that's just transformers and traps these days, isn't it? And we're not getting a lot of those, obviously, but there's plenty of slots available for loads more. But ship specials, that's a perfect place to put some of that stuff in there.
Yeah, but no, I mean, what I'm saying is the only real difference, or at least to the player advantage of the Foundry over these physical labs in your base, is if your lab gets blown up, you're not going to have a delay.
Yeah, that's a fair point, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I mean, because if they say, "Oh, well, we're not going to gain anything out of it," well, you can, because the advanced lab, you can say it's got to be level 13. You can say you got to have OP10. You say, if you wanted to, you can say you got to have freaking shipyard X and that sort of stuff. So they can still do it another way, but at least then you haven't got to go and do another freaking TLC, which I'm sick to death of doing them things.
Yep.
Well, I just don't do them anymore. I just look at them and go, "Yeah, I don't want that."
Yeah, the only thing about the labs that's come out recently is the fact that the labs are now guardable. Before this last before OP10, you didn't have enough land to guard your labs. Now people are using them as offensive and defensive weapons by adding specials to them, which you didn't really have the land to do before. So yeah, I think your idea makes even more sense to add stuff more to these the Forsaken labs, just because now they're defendable. Before they were just fodder. They were just things that were hanging out there, and a lot of people deleted them if they could.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's potential, because I know a lot of people are moving labs in and out their center island, and because they're, as you say, they're defendable. That especially put in the right places with the right auras around them and that sort of stuff. Then yeah, you can do some of the upgrades without being disturbed too much. So. I don't know. Anyway, there's many ways to skin a cat, isn't there? But I think that would be a acceptable way of doing it. So you
Also,
can just
the res generators might make a comeback with all those fields that it could produce.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting because I'm upgrading a turret right now, and I was, I'm sort of disappointed I pushed the button and I didn't build enough res generators. Because I was down to one. I had one oil rig, but now I'm sort of stuck for a couple more days, and I want to build 3 or 4 more res generators before, now put me up to like 9 or 10, just for the, either you can't put the top end specials on them, but you can put, fire support 1 and
fire support. It all helps, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And fuel air missions 1. You can't put the 2, but you can fit the 1 in there.
Yep. And also, like the bloodthirst ships are I don't, unless this new Voltron ship, whatever it is that they call them. If that makes them to have a comeback, the bloodthirst ships are not making. They're not making a lot of. Hitting a lot of bases anymore. No,
but I can imagine a flagship for your liberators. You could reinvent them. You can imagine that if you had something that had a pretty good. I mean, libs aren't bad anyway, but now that you've got obviously that range boost as well for they make a pretty good prep fleet, especially if you can get them cranked up and get the bloodthirst up on them. They're pretty tough to kill. I mean, I know a decent mort would do some damage, but once they're fired up, you can imagine if you I don't know, you got an extra 50% damage protection if your flagship came in for those. They'd be really annoying because they're quite quick and they've got good range because they've got a 10% boost on themselves, haven't they? So what are they then? 114 or 115 or something? I was working out with Magni earlier on.
Yeah, but are any of the rivals ships, or can any of them stand up to the Mega Gatling gun? I don't think it
depends what you use it with. If you've got a dead bus that you sit in the back corner, that helps a lot, doesn't it? I don't know, but the flagship could do something, couldn't it? If they brought out a Liberator flagship, that would, and put a blanket aura wide, not just got to stay within a set zone, but it was a battlefield wide protection, just like the bus gives it. Then they can do what they freaking like. They always do anyway. So.
Yeah, I've always, ever since Rakin made that post about asking people to decide between the Defender and a Conqueror.
Yeah.
The way I read that, it didn't sound like, at least that plan was that they would come out with a hull dependent one, but a class dependent flagship.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, to be honest. Although I don't think we just need another.
Nobody wants to build 6 of these, or
No.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. No one. Well, I don't like building 6 of the same or anything, but or 5 or 4 or whatever, But 3 is
Well, not
enough.
of the same thing, but 6 different, or 5 or 6 different independent flagships.
Mm.
Unless they're going to allow us to build flagships in the Conqueror yard,
Yeah.
which wouldn't be a bad idea.
What about a flagship for Inquisitors and that sort of stuff?
That's what it was for.
They're quite handy, aren't they, Inquisitors?
Yeah, but I guess we can go back and find it in the forums, but I always pictured it as, one ship to rule them all, like one that's sort of another way to glue these ships together.
To bind them, yeah, exactly. No, got you. Yeah. I mean, the one ship to rule them was the King's Writ. It's just freaking mental, isn't it? I mean, I've got a couple, and I don't actually use them. I've not hit a base since I built the bloody things because I just think they're so imbalanced that they're just, a lot of the big alliances do their alliance stuff and that stuff, but I don't. I just like, you're just going to piss off so many mid-level players that they'll probably just freaking sack it, to be honest. So I haven't even bother. I built them, I've ranked them, and I've just used them for silly stuff, And I've not even gone out and hit a single. Well, I can't remember last time I hit a base, to be honest. Like I said, did my thing where ages, got as far as the bounty, and I don't think I've hit a base since. I'm just, it doesn't excite me that much. But it's their own, I think, base hitting and that sort of stuff is it's good for the big alliances when they've all got lots of coins and that sort of stuff, because it's the it's the team spirity thing, isn't it? So look what I've got next, and then they all do the chatty to each other and slate each other off at big alliances as they always do, and call each other names and kicks. I love that sort of stuff because it keeps bringing the money in. So keep doing it, guys. It's fine. I have no issues with it whatsoever because you're the ones that keep the game alive. I ain't spent a bloody thing in 2 months. So
yeah, so we have to jump to the assumption that next raid we're going to see a new siege raid fleet, the skill-based one, and then we're also going to see a defender, a defender flagship that's going to improve the courage and the justice.
In the raid, or do you think that'll come in bounty? Bounty?
There was the defender one. That question was directly asked by Raken,
right?
Regarding the defender hall that was going to improve the courage and the justice. So I'm assuming, since it was overwhelming everywhere I looked, that it was 8-1 to 9-1.
Yeah, the ratio was huge for a defender, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other two things that I would assume come out, I would assume that at least the bus comes out, if not the King's Writ as well.
Yeah, but let's not up the number of King's Writs. I think 2 is enough, because otherwise what's going to happen. You just have people with a bus outside and then 4 King's Writs, and they're just going to go and eat people alive.
Well, except for that's the reason I brought up those in that order, is the fact that defender hall. I'm assuming.
Yeah, unless they. But then that's a catch-22, mate, isn't it? If there's a monster defender hole that can kill a King's Writ, then nothing else stands a chance. Nothing.
Right.
And then you've got that complete swing from yin to yang. It's not a sliding scale. It's a complete freaking seesaw.
But that's what they do, right?
Yeah, but they need to freaking stop that. I mean, they're doing it. I have to say, I'm quite, reasonably impressed. I mean, and always a lot of people, because not everyone's got tons of turrets up and running. But the way they slow down the massive, and yes, it does take 20 odd days to build one of the new epic turrets and that sort of stuff. But at least I've only got 2 turret tops done, and I've only got 1 turret at level 9, and I'm sort of like, or 2 maybe, because I refuse to coin the freaking things, And I think everyone's in the same boat. So actually, the increasing level in the people's bases, unless you're mental and like I said, one of the big alliances, I think everyone's in the same boat. So I think the incremental jump in the base building piece has calmed down massively. So there's no reason why they can't calm the ships down. I think the Kings was a mistake, I really do. But but then that was there for a particular reason, because there was a previous mistake. So. But just stop the freaking mistakes and let's get back to some sensibility, Even if they just said, sack it, we don't do any ships for a month, and let's wait till January and let's start some tier 7 holes that are common sense, based around the fact by then people may have up to 5 turrets done. Maybe 6.
Yeah. Well, they also told us that we were going to get the last of the 7 deadly, or we were going to get they were holding off on the seven deadly sins until the new year. So I would expect to see that.
Is the new year the
first.
new year, or is the new year sometime later in the new year? That's the question, isn't it? Because the
Well,
new year doesn't have to be January. The new year could be quite a long new year.
Oh yeah, till the following year. So, I mean, it would be odd if they started releasing Tier 7 halls, and then they finished off the Seven Deadly Sins at Tier 6. Unless,
true.
Unless the new Seven Deadly Sins are going to be Tier 7.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think it's a valid point.
Because it's a possibility, because those halls are meant to run together, as opposed to the rivals, which are meant to run with a mixed group. So maybe they do release them as Tier 7s.
Maybe, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's maybe the first Tier 7s are defenders. I don't know. Not actually conqueror, and not God only knows. I see things changing massively in the spring. I really do. Like this method, this 2017 crazy method, I think is going to have to come to an end, or there won't be a game. I mean, I'm not the sky's falling type person, but this can't continue because their player base is just dwindling massively. So they're going to have a massive shake-up, and clearly a change in tier is going to be. I mean, I know they're going to draw out the blueprints, like, and they're going to take out some of the ridiculous stats. So you haven't got to have a, PhD in maths and all that sort of stuff to look at the 5 columns of statistics and then add them all together. When it takes 5 ships to create a decent fleet, and they've all got different stats, and so. It's if it's got an aura, it's got an aura, and it's just one aura and it goes across the whole fleet, sort of stuff, not this like 1+5 crap and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and also they're not doing a good job of trying to explain the stuff. I mean, after the whip went away, there's been a real, even though the whip went away, how long ago? We should actually figure out the date.
Was it last? Was it summer? It was summer 16, wasn't it? So it's a long time now.
Yeah, it's been over a year, since it went away.
It's about summer 16. I think the August 16 was about the last one.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot of players in the game right now, not as many as if they had planned things properly, that have no idea what we're talking about when we're talking about the
not about whips and chains, not that sort of thing. Yeah, it's a whole different ball game. Yeah, but I don't know. I think we need a dramatic shake-up of how not just the next. All right, it's got to have this stat. The whole way it's done, the whole freaking thing, it just needs a bit of a shake-up. It will please people though if they do it, because a lot of people are content with everyone likes to be king of the castle, particularly at the top end when you're spending money. There's nothing more annoying to people when you bring out an X hull and that person was away for that weekend, and I've saw it. A couple of people going, right, I've rage quit. I wasn't here for bounty. I didn't get that hull. Now clearly I'm crap. I'm a farmer and I haven't got it. And that's it. And the same for those who were really high level players that couldn't get the Axum because they were away as well. And they felt absolutely as if they were like being shunned. By kick size. So, but that's just that's that complete swing from left to right. And we know that Axum turret was because of the mistake of the rage. Rage was a bloody mistake, a huge mistake. Too much power, too much fire by far.
Yeah, I don't. It'd be curious to see what assumptions they walk into when they're testing some of these new releases.
Mark, the other thing that's funny is you keep calling the big boats mistakes, and I agree with you. But at some point, they're not mistakes; they're intentional.
Yeah, but
I didn't say
these are intentional mistakes.
I said for the harmony of the game, it's a mistake. I'm not saying they did it. They did it as a mistake.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, it's intentional.
Because overpowered hulls.
Mistake's the wrong word, I must admit.
Makes them money.
Incremental error for the harmonization of the game. Let's not put in posh stupid words. I'm not George, but as far as I'm concerned, to have a smooth transition and a steady increase of tech ability, spec. It's very hard, and I get it's very hard because you never know what crazy things people are going to go build and that sort of stuff. And
Right.
two people can have the exactly same hole and the same specials, that sort of stuff, but they've only got to put one special that's on wrong, and count
It wrecks
measure
the fleet.
loader. And,
Right.
and it just the fleet just doesn't work. I saw somebody today saying, "Oh these icebreakers are rubbish" and that sort of stuff. I can't get it. And then I saw they've got autoloader on it, and I'm like, "Well, I've got autoloader on a freaking rocket hull for?" But it's just crazy things that some people do. Still.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know. There's yeah. Anyway, whatever. A change needs to happen. This continual yin yang's got to stop, but it's got to stop absolutely dead as far as I'm concerned. And it will, they did it with the FM. Christ, they haven't given up, have they? They just said, "Oh no, here's some tokens. Keep adjusting. Have some, have some Zealous tokens. Do this, do that sort of stuff." And actually, we've all conformed because, like good little soldiers, we've just done as we're told. And we're getting on with it. So
the
I
end
think
result is we're back to where we were. Most people can now do the FM again for free.
Yeah.
So what did they gain? They gained
I'm just
weekend.
looking at, don't pamper to the mega coiners. But if nobody else is coining, the whole mechanic. This is a 7-year-old game run on a system that only caters to mega coiners. It only ever did from day one.
Yeah.
This game format only caters the top 5%, and of the top 5%, it only caters specifically to the top 2%. Really, But that was when they had, a constant, huge player base. Now it gets harder and harder. So, tell me, I've like I said, I've not spent a thing in 2 months. I'm not saying no coins, but I haven't bought any fleets. I haven't done any ships. I haven't, it's all in slow time stuff. So my money's gone down probably 5-10-fold. Yeah, I'm sure most people in the general sense are probably the same. I know a lot of the people are looking for as many fleets as they can build with no armor now. I'm taking armor off my base defense ships, for God's sake, because it just takes too long to fix.
Yeah, I've with defense fleet with the ships, I don't even put armor because they don't last very long.
Well, those are just token ships, aren't they? Because there's a completely overpowered ship that people just go, well, that's the one that gets to the middle, and I'll put something around the outside, and then I'm just going to mortar you to death, because that's the way to do it at the moment. So stop the mortars, then especially got some epic ones and that sort of stuff. Then if they're stopping those from firing, then you can't kill the sloths, and then the other ones, because they're using them as countermeasure ships, go into the middle. Well, there's nothing really that exciting that can kill those ones that go into the middle. So you need to do something to kill the ones on the outside, or stop all the mortars, or have enough buff in your base there that when the mortars come in, they don't actually do anything. So you time them out. It's not exactly very interesting, though, is it? It's a bit dull.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't sound very infused at the moment, but
the only thing that I found that the way to kill the kings, I'm still trying to get the platforms up like you are, but that's to drive like a NASCAR driver.
Yeah, the last, I don't know what, 6-7 people just timed out in my base. But I don't see it as a success because I've had to do some stuff to my base to make them time out. That's not a win. They still get 90-odd% damage, but they only get 1 star, so they don't get the OP, sort of stuff. But yeah, whoopie do,
Yeah,
is that a win? I don't really see it as a win because it's still 5 minutes of him, taking a pounding, that sort of stuff, with 2 or 3 prep fleets as well. Me taking a pounding. I've got to fix a base fleet up. I've got to fix my own thing. I was sat in a bubble for a day and a half, and that was a bit of a waste of time, really, wasn't it? The second they enter, and I look at the fleet and I go, well, he's failed. I'll come back in 5 minutes. I'll press fix. Yep. And that's happened every single time. It's predictable, but well. Anyway, and it'll stay predictable, I think, until they do something about it. So yeah, and as Hefe was saying there, you feeling it's going to come in the raid? I don't know if it isn't. Then if it does come in the raid, this new defender, what the hell's going to come in the bounty?
Right.
Because there's got to be something.
The attacker for the ore series, the rival series, flagship. That's what was said.
All right. Okay.
because it was either the rival series, flagship, or a defender, and everyone picked defender. Remember?
We'll see.
Mhm.
We'll see. I'll have a I'll have a play at it, but yeah, I know they're definitely trying to make it all about PvPing and defending, which means that obviously the bluff bases on the open sea, that pop up every so often. I think they will disappear completely because they'll be trying to utilize the mega ships as another way of getting your bonuses. You go around attacking each other instead. But that all costs money to fix, doesn't it? What's it cost to fix the mega ship engine? Just the engine costs quite a bit, doesn't it?
It's 4 hours each module plus 24-hour plus for the bridge.
Yeah, that's just crazy, isn't it? Sod that. I ain't going down that avenue. That's a ridiculous amount of coin. No, it's never going to happen. Not in this call sign anyway.
Yeah, even the changes they've made, they've changed that you don't need to. I guess it's to control power creep, but they still made the things that are now free or to use titanium. But as far as upgrading your mega ship, it takes a long time to upgrade those modules and weapons.
2 and 3 days at a time.
3 and
Yeah, and
4.
that's for the level 1s and 2s.
Yeah, it's not quick by any stretch of the imagination. I guess that's partially planned, but the way that they've staged this, as far as the really long build times, and that were originally in place for the gantry, and it created a have or have not situation right at the start. With there were some people that were willing to coin it, and then a lot of people just threw their hands up. Okay, I have a 145 megaship at this point, and there's people running around with 300s at this point.
Yeah.
And there's no level differentiation as far as attacking them or whatnot, and you had to be part of a large alliance that already had the big ships. It seemed to be failed from the beginning. I'm not sure exactly how to fix it. I mean, I think the recent move was a good one, but I don't know if it was a complete move, because I think they also need to lower the build times on those
Yeah, massively. There's a couple of things I want to do. I want to see them in the new year. I want to change from what level base you hit to what level fleet you're hitting, and do it in bands in fleets, not bands on base level. I think that, and raiding as well. You can't. If you're going to get a point score reduction, for a target, it's done because the ship level that's going into it is above a level, I don't know, freaking 100 or something like that, and you're using all tier 7 tech or tier 6 tech or whatever it is. So it's an automated thing which is a straight maths sort of like statistic. So rather than and then if somebody is getting, he's in a big alliance, he's getting lots of help, and he's only level 80, say, he can go and do the big ones or small ones, and it's fine. But actually, if he's level 80 and he's got a monster fleet, he's going to get the hit down multiplier same as everybody else. Doesn't matter what level you are, but also, if somebody then who hasn't played in the game for a long time or doesn't coin but is still at a high level and he's still got crap ships, then he isn't going to get done for going to the lower levels, because he's using low level tech. I think that's a fair way of doing it, to be honest. And then those that coin get the advantage of coining; they can do what they like. And those that don't coin don't feel jeopardized to hit and get bugger all for their efforts.
Yeah, I've been sort of, because it'll be tricky. Everybody's going to find an exploit in that, as far as figuring out where they're not accounting for technology correctly. As far as the tech level of a ship, I mean, using a low level hull and put higher level weapons. I mean, maybe they're moving towards that in a sort of way, but I think that's going to add up. I mean, I like the idea, but I just don't see the execution being what people would want, because I think it's going to be, people are going to find, oh, this is really effective and it's only X level. And then they're going to change it, and then people are going to get upset by
But that's like saying they get, do you want eggs or eggs? You can have them scrambled, you can have them poached, but you're still getting eggs. And I find that analogy happens quite a lot in the game sometimes. Oh, you want this? Well, you can have it this way or this way, but you're still getting it. And that the FM is a classic example. It's coming whether you like it or not. Well, we can make it into a souffle, or we can do all sorts of stuff around the borders. You can have short crust pastry, or you can have flaky pastry, but you're still getting freaking pastry whether you like it or not. So freaking eat it, and that's the FM at the moment. You can dance around it, but you're still freaking getting it. So get on with it. And it's yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, bit of a crap analogy, I know, but
No, I understand, but it's I don't know. It just seems like, because people are saying that the coiners are going to coin, or they're going to coin somewhere else. But if they coin for a more interactive, challenging, what's the other word I want to use? Quality game, I think they're willing to spend the same amount for less of a power advantage, as long as it's well thought out and they don't have trust issues that this is going to go away in a week. Because that's what happens is they get the super powerful weapon or the super powerful haul, and it only lasts for a week. And so they've spent that, and they got a full fleet of rages. And then because they made them too overpowered to begin with, they feel ripped off in some way, and then they're not going to do it next time. You understand what I mean, right?
Yeah. I mean, and that's why there's been a series of particularly a huge series of a few hundred players that have just gone, right, my coin is not valued anymore. It's changed too much, so I'm rage quitting. And we've had quite a lot of big alliance players rage quit, or come to the assumption that basically that's just the last, because there's always something that tips you over the edge, isn't it? And that's normal, because people quit games and move on to other games, like that sort of stuff. But there was a cliff edge period, wasn't there? 6 weeks ago, that it wasn't the low level players, because the low level players struggle no matter what. You can do what you like to the game, and they'll struggle on. They'll either stick with it or they'll leave, because those are the rotational people. The decision to go past level 50 is the hugest decision, even now. When you realize,
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, when that dawning moment comes to you and you're a level 46, 47, and you go, my God, the door's going to be open in a minute, and Mr. 120X can come and smash me to pieces, and I'm never going to get anything done. It's time to press thanks very much, but I'm off.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they haven't looked at that again, because it's been how many years? 3 years? 2 or 3 years? 3 years probably, since they made the decision to make that 50 plus, the
farcical, isn't it?
No, it's been more than 3 years. It's
and in the meantime, the reason they originally made that decision is the 50 plus cutoff, because a high level that wasn't doing something weird with gaining XP, base XP. There wasn't enough people to hit. There wasn't enough bases to hit at that point. But
that's right. Yeah.
But how things have shifted in the meantime, that a level 50 is, I wish they would go and take a hard look at the distribution of levels of active players in the game and how that's changed. Because there used to be a lot more 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s in the game. Now there's I think they should up that limit to I don't know. I'm not even going to
probably to 80. Probably 280, to be honest. Or there should be a sector where it's 50s do their own thing, and there's 50s to 80 or 50s to 85 or something. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, or, but that's not what I mean, I didn't want to throw out a number intentionally because, I mean, that's where I think it's supposed to. I'm
But I don't think it
guessing.
should even be a number. Like I said, you know, if you've got level 7 turrets in your base and that sort of stuff, you know, and then tier 5 holes can go and hit it. If you've got level 8 turrets in your base, or maybe it's the OP number. I don't know, a math equation where, you know, that's a tier 6 base, right? You've got tier 6s, you can go hit it, and then a mega coiner, an absolute mega. Let's throw a name, Padre, someone like that. Okay, can go back, grab some old shitty holes and that sort of stuff, and then have a decent attempt at hitting a decent base with a decent level stuff. And you know, it's not the overpowered god fleet. It's going down about 5 levels and trying to remember how to use an old fleet. But you're not, you know, and it's a fair challenge. Then it's an old tech fleet hitting an old, you know, a lower tech, basically an older tech base, and that's a fair challenge. You know, it's not just like I walk you with whatever I fancy it, you know. And you know, the Mondays for a lower level guy that's in his 70s, 80s, 90s. That's if you can find anybody that well. You know, on alley points day, they must freaking hate it.
Yeah, yeah,
We've all been there. We all learned our trade that way, but the game's moved on. It's a different game now. You know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've always for a long time, because the way the whole level thing has worked is based on resources spent and resources gained. You know, and you know, it always seemed to make, until we had some of the glitches go on with people like canceling ship builds and whatnot. The people that were higher level with the lower technology level, before people quit and came back, those were the worst. Those were the players that weren't that good, that increased in level, because they were losing more resources because they were getting their base hit all the time, or they were the people that were suiciding sea wolves into things and then instant repairing them in their base because they were spending so many resources, and it would make them higher level even though it was because they weren't as good in the game.
Yeah, got you. Yeah.
And so yeah, this level system based on resources has been broken for a long time. And so yeah, I do agree that it should be based on either tech, like you mentioned, tech level of the fleet, or
Something
tech.
along those lines. I think I just think the whole thing needs to shake up, and it's going to annoy people to start with. I get that, but if they can do it in a way that's either, you know, incremental and that sort of stuff, you know, and it's not all done in one hit, or if it is done in one hit and you just go, right, this is the way forward, this is the way we're going to do it. You know, there are no more, you know, you can't hit me till I'm a level 50 sort of stuff. You know, if you happen to go and build some sea wolves and you're a level 129, but you built your sea wolves, you can go and hit a level 16 base if you wanted to, or I don't know, 26, whatever, the right level of base, and then you can have a bit of a laugh. You know, it wouldn't matter. You know, it's, and people would then probably join alliances at any freaking level as well, because they gain the relevant detail and go, right, well, I'll tell you what, I'll go and hit some bases and you can see what I've been building. You can encourage them to build the same sort of stuff. It would bring people on, you know, and they feel as if they feel valued as well. And then you could join a freaking alliance at any level, tech level, not base level, at tech level. The base level, I mean, you just get rid of the base level. It wouldn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't mean anything. I'm just trying to think of the next step with the
You just say OP level. Yeah. Instead of the base numbers outside, just go, you're a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because that's the OP level.
Yeah, because I was thinking of, as far as your discussion of tech level for a fleet to go hit in PvE or PvP, or even, I think you were talking about PvP and PvE. You might be encouraging, at least at the PvP level, which I don't think Kixi would like, is convincing people to build lower level fleets, which they've slashed the build times on, that they could still get the same things accomplished that they would with their big fleets, as far as, I don't know, medals or allied points or whatnot. That you'd be pushing the player base to build these discounted hulls.
Probably, but then again, if the discounted holes are just, I mean, just to hold the blank hole, some of them, you know, even the big conqueror ones are 2 days and that sort of stuff. You know, there's plenty of holes out there that are just 2 days to build, and there's plenty of low-level tech holes that cost a darn sight more to build. But if you let's say levies and that sort of stuff. If you were to build levies, I have no idea what it takes to build a levy now, I must admit. But at least if you're going to go, and I'm a level 100, I don't know what I mean, level 120 something or other. But if I went to build a set of levies, then I'm only allowed, because it's a tier 2 ship, I can only use tier 2 tech. So I've got to go and build it. So that's like taking me back 6.5 years. What a laugh that'd be. And I go and hit a level 25.
I'm more thinking like the original, like I'm thinking more like you go hit somebody
battle
with
barges or something, and it's just.
You're not gonna, you hitting level 15s with battle barges, that would be amusing, and
it would be amusing.
I'm not sure that would be good for the player base, because those level 15s getting hit by somebody that's playing the game for 7 years, they're gonna get owned. There's no two ways about it.
But then, okay, it's about how you drive, not about how you pulverize.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've learnt my driving experience, because I've started at the low levels and I've worked up. It's not because I've been given or I've bought the god hull or the god tech or the god this. It's because I'm a bloody good driver, or I'm a bloody good evader, or I can move my subs around, or I can control my ships properly, and that sort of stuff. And that person would probably look up to that person a bit more, because actually he's got exactly the same tech as him, and he'd be like, "That Jesus, I can't do that with that stuff."
It would make for a much more interesting game. I do agree with you. I'm just wondering from Kicksai's side, as far as it seems like it would limit monetization of the game.
Well, they wouldn't need to have power creep
in the short term. In the short term, it would, but it could
be any power
in
creep
a long time.
You could use, imagine how many ships have been released? I mean, I don't know what it is. How many ships have been released in the 7 and a bit years now? I can't even think how many ships in total. But we can do like one every 3 months, one new ship every 3 months for the big players and that sort of stuff, and then you can do some incremental stuff as well. But then you can just go around and just go right. This month, this raid's a Seawolf raid. Right, everybody, you've got a month to go and build your sea rolls, and off you go and go and do some crazy stuff. Right, next one's going to be HHs or something like that, and just move it up and down the scale a bit. I don't know.
It would be interesting, and and I just have a fear of the execution. How?
Well, I wouldn't know. Like I said, I'm not a game designer. I haven't got a clue. But you can imagine a Seawolf raid. It should be mental, wouldn't it? It'd be nuts. It'd be hysterical funny.
Oh well, I was in a Seawolf raid. The first 3 raids I was in, I was using Seawolves as my offense. And then I had floating fortresses hanging in the back just to collect resources. You were hitting salvages, and it was how much. I remember doing that. It was how much cargo you brought home. So the Seawolves didn't carry enough cargo, so it only used. I
used 3 Seawolves and 2 dead FFS. And the FFs were dead all the time, and just 3 Seawolves. Yeah,
and that's the way it was. And the first raid was supposed to only be 24 hours. And then they extended it to 36 hours.
Yeah. And I didn't sleep the whole time. I just sat in the chair and just kept going with Pro Plus and Red Bull.
Yeah.
I remember that very well.
Yeah. No, I do recall that quite well. Yeah, because I was reading the forums. I'm like, oh, it's not 24 hours anymore. Because I was ready to go to bed. And then I got to stay up another 12 hours. Because I was in Sector 1 at that point, which was the most active.
I remember that. I remember that so well. I'm thinking, coffee's not doing it. I need some Red Bull or something. This is just not working.
Yeah.
And matchsticks and everything. And I didn't sleep at all for a whole weekend. Which is bonkers when you think about it. And you're floating some pixels around some crappy sea. It's funny. How ridiculous is that? Grown man. But hey,
And the HHA did not have that much power creep over the floating fortress. It had same number of specials. I think it had slightly better turn speed, and it had 2 more I think it went from 8 to 10 combat speed.
2 more combat speed. Yeah, it just its reload wasn't that much better. It had a bit more of a boom to it, didn't it? There was some explosive boom. I'll have to go back and look at it.
It might have been 20% explosive damage, but it
still drove like a pig.
Yeah, yeah. You know, like I described it. It's they both drove like a school bus with three flat tires.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
funny.
it was not. And then the HHB came out, which had a lot more speed and it had additional. I think it had some additional turn speed, but that was the first Blitzer haul. But yeah, I think we're probably getting off topic. But yeah, it was. Yeah, it would be interesting, but I don't know if the player base would. I'm trying to figure out what a Seawolf raid would look like at this point.
I don't know.
Besides hitting
Look, the funniest thing they ever did in that other thing was the gunboat challenge. When we all built a gunboat. I know it was a stupid gunboat, but it was still the funniest thing we've done for a long time in a game, and nothing's ever beaten that. I think for just pure humor, of just go in there and build some nuts ship. Why can't we have a retro raid and just go old school and just go retro? And you just got some random stuff, and you can't go above tier 4 tech and that sort of stuff, and the targets are based off that sort of stuff, or it's just an FVF. You just go out in the water and you've got to build predator subs, and you get 1 million points for killing somebody else's predators. I don't know, it doesn't matter what it is, but it would just be amusing.
It would be amusing, and I could see something like that, like what you're describing, not being like the main raid. I could see it as a replacement for bounty, though. Something for slightly lesser prizes that players are do for
skins.
Fun.
Freaking some skins or something like that, or some color, or you get to rename your base for free or something stupid, like just something really immature and childish and nothing, or your base goes golden for a freaking week or some month or something like that, and you get an aura around it that's yellow or green or something. I don't know, whatever. They put auras around our bases when you pick an enemy, and it all turns pink and that sort of stuff. So why can't they have a bloody, I don't know, orange one, green one, freaking rainbow color one, whatever you want to call it, sort of stuff, And you won the Predator raid or something. I don't know, something like that. I clearly have to make some money out of it somehow and that sort of stuff, and I get that, but I don't know. Even if it was like, yeah, your Predators are dead and it's 2 coin to fix it. How many times did you press 2 coins? You've been doing it all the time. You're freaking nuts. Get back in the battle. That's what we used to do all the time, didn't we? Your seawalls were built, and it would cost you. You could go back to your dock, and it would cost you. You could do it for instant fix, but if you stayed out in the water, it cost you 1 coin. Well, everyone was just going 1 coin, 1 coin, 1 coin, 1 coin. Everyone was freaking doing it because it was just.
And they'll watch the counters add up.
Yeah, well, it was a good laugh, wasn't it? It was mental fun. Oh, yeah. But anyway, yeah. Wow, there you go. I've rabbited on enough. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, it was an interesting topic to explore. I'm just trying to figure out what would be.
I don't know. I don't go too deep into that sort of stuff. I just know what's fun. I'm only here for fun. I don't do the math thing because that's what Brian or you guys do, and I just know what works because I've been playing for so long. I just stick it on, and I just know what works with what, because just through life experience on in the game sort of stuff, But I know what I like, and what drew me here and what keeps me here, sort of stuff. And to be honest, what keeps me here now is more TFC related and certainly not BP related, which is bizarre, really.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, I to be honest, as somebody with my number of tokens and whatnot, I like the not the 115 with the rhinos and Apollos and whatever, but I actually sort of liked personally the 115, the current 115. Not I think it doesn't give enough points out, or the prizes are too expensive, but I liked the whole challenge of trying to get them done for as little damage as possible using tokens, the zillion tokens that we had. I find that fun, trying to.
Well, you're trying to crack a puzzle.
Yeah, and it was free to do it. Besides, we didn't have Zealous tokens, but we had Icebreaker tokens, we had Monolith tokens, we had Gridiron Monolith tokens.
Damn that Icebreaker.
Yeah, and we had the tokens in order to do it for free to overcome the new challenge. Besides the Zealous, but I find that fun. That was amusing. I didn't find the previous ones with the rhinos amusing.
No.
That was breaking some rules, but at least on their, from what I saw on their part. But that I like that part of the game. If we're not asked to coin, because if it was coining over these fleets, that would have been extremely expensive.
There's always a bit of coin, and there's got to be. The game doesn't exist unless there's money incoming. People got livelihoods, and I get that. And I probably can't ever imagine them changing the concept of the game where it goes to, everybody pays a little bit rather than the top people playing a lot, because the top people would just stop playing. So, that transition would probably be so difficult it probably never happens. So I don't think we can change the method of way things are doing, but the participation in certain things, so long as you allow the top coiners to do their stuff and still feel godlike, so they stay on and keep coining, then maybe they can invest in some other things that are,
Well, let's bring up your rages, TSM. If your rages were 80% as powerful as they were, but they didn't have to work so quickly to correct them in a week or so.
Oh yeah,
and they lasted for a month like that.
Mm-hmm.
But only 80% of the power. You were still able to get into, let's say you're running over all the bases. Let's say you're able to run over 80% of the bases, and that lasted for a month or 6 weeks, as opposed to lasting for a week or so. You would probably feel better about that fleet, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would do. I mean, the Axum killed him straight, didn't it? I mean, that was it. The fact that they just gave that away for just starting the event showed and proved the fact that they fucked the game. And that was the fix, and a really stupid fix at that.
Yeah. But if they hadn't started off, if they had made that fleet so powerful to start with, like if they scaled that fleet back slightly, they wouldn't have to have made such a sharp correction that would have, basically negated that haul afterwards, because it burned brightly for a moment, but it didn't burn for long.
Yeah. Oh, it burned exceptionally bright. Like I said, I raked up well into the high, ridiculous amount of medals very, very rapidly, going freaking 8th in the global table or something. I don't know. It was a fleeting moment of, and I did it simply because I thought, what does it actually take to get to the top of the table? And it doesn't take. It just takes money. That's all it takes. With a blitz anyway. It doesn't take driving skill. It doesn't take anything else. Anybody can play King of the Castle. Yeah, clearly I was never going to get to the top of the tree and that sort of stuff, because that takes money a lot, But to get up there, to see yourself on the first page of the global sheet and that sort of stuff on myself, that's ridiculous. So that's just cost me X. And, but there was no fun in it. It was just go in a base, roll it, go the next one, roll it, go the next one, roll it, out in the sea, coin it, out in the sea, coin it, go to the next one, roll it. That was as dull as dishwater to me. I did it and I thought to myself, yeah, I'm not actually enjoying this.
Yeah,
that's when I stopped using them before they actually started with the Axum. I stopped. I was like, yeah, okay. I see the point in some respects, but it doesn't interest me.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Making them, if they made them 80% of what they were, there would have been a more challenge on these bases, and then they wouldn't have to, go and slap them down as hard as they did. And then, that's the only point. I think we're agreeing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the only thing rages are quite good now, as long as some nasty great subs don't come in, is you can go and absolutely wipe out. You can put a one, probably about a 180 mega in against a 350 plus mega, and you're taking some rages, and you can make them right rest and probably win the battle. Not on all of them now, because a lot of people have got some really good drones that have got a huge amount of power on them and that sort of stuff. But you can still take out a hell of a lot of, totally imbalanced mega ships with the rages, so they do have a bit of a purpose, but I don't find doing mega ship battles much fun, because it's just like two big tubs of lard sitting there just shouting at each other across a fence, isn't it? It's like, that's exciting. The best bit is the drones, because they actually sail. You can't direct them, but they sail. At least they move.
Yeah, something to watch.
Yeah. And now everyone's using throwers, so it makes them look quite nice. So
Yeah, I had a good time with my.
They're all built the freaking same now. It's not exactly. It's like, oh, you've got a level 4, you've got a level 3. Well, okay, fine. As long as you've got the right specials on, they both got the same. You know what's going to happen. But Anyway,
Okay. Well, I think unless anybody has anything else, we proceed to the after show, because I don't know that we have any reason, considering the limited content and issues going on with the game, to really go on for much longer,
Yeah.
unless anybody else has anything to discuss.
not for me, mate. No.
Okay.
Miami.
Yeah, well, we can go to the after show and talk about.
Nope.
We can go and talk about Laredo.
Yeah.
You know, that's all we talk about in the after show. So
Yeah.
you know, and I posted a link. So if you got any really good Laredo, you know, you wake up and look at your front stoop and he's passed out on your patio. You know,
Let's go to the after show and talk about the dumbest thing you bought on Black Friday.
okay. Alrighty. Well, I will post the link one more time, everybody, and feel free to join us. If not, I'll see you on Wednesday. So,
Take it easy.
Good night, everyone.
All right. Good night.
night.